Welcome, everybody, to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I have a topic for you that is super timely. It's something that I think we need to discuss, and that is how to stay centered in uncertain times. Because as emotional eaters, when we get into a lot of uncertainty in the world, when we don't feel safe, when we feel like things are crumbling beneath our feet, what do? We eat. We eat, okay? That's the emotional eater go-to is food. If you don't know if you're an emotional eater, go to my website, take the quiz, get your personalized score, because that's going to help. It's a spectrum. We're all on the emotional eating spectrum. Are you on the low end or the high end? Find out, take the quiz, get your personalized score. But I just want to say that this is a really important topic because life is a little uncertain right now. I want to share with you simple but powerful ways to stay centered no matter what's going on around you. There is a lot happening in the world right now. Political changes, environmental concerns, personal challenges. I'm going through it. My friends are going through it. And my clients are going through it. We can't always control what's happening, but we can control how we respond. We're going to have fear, we're going to have concerns, but that doesn't have to knock us off our game, and it doesn't have to make us eat. So my goal here today is to give you some tools and give you some comfort so food is not your go-to. It's just a crazy time, but I don't want to eat over it. That doesn't help anything. Nobody is helped when I overeat. When I overeat, I go down a dark hole of misery and depression, and I serve no good purpose when I'm in food. And chances are, you know what I'm talking about, okay? When we're overeating, when we're just looking for food to shield us from life, nothing gets solved, and we don't get better. And we certainly don't gain new tools for dealing with uncertainty. So life is gonna life. An example of lifing, I'm in LA, and a month and a half ago, we had wildfires very close to my home. I had friends who lost everything, absolutely everything. But I have to say, they're moving forward with their lives. It didn't devastate them. Emotionally, it was devastating, but it didn't take them out. All right? This stuff is going to happen. The pandemic, look what happened to us in the pandemic. It turned our lives upside down. But it also created unexpected silver linings, like remote working and connecting more globally with other people and just having a global common experience. That was beautiful for a moment. The pandemic was something we all went through. It was a very unifying experience. So I want to talk to you about perspective because this is one of the tools that's really important. Recently, my partner, he loves the work that I do. He loves the positive influence I have on my clients. And he learns a little bit from the things I teach because he hears me in the background doing my client calls and all this. Recently, he was visiting his 91-year-old mother, and she was down in the mouth. She'd lost her husband, my partner's dad. And when you'd ask her how she's doing, she'd just tell you she was doing terribly. She's just doing terribly. But that's a matter of perspective. And he taught her how to do a gratitude list. So he said, hey, Mom, let's write down the things that are good. Even though you lost dad, even though you're living alone right now, even though you feel lonely. I mean, she was married for 65 years with a partner in her home, in her bed, her cuddle buddy. And so let's write a list of the things that are still good. And she did that. And then he said, let's focus on that. It's not to diminish the sadness you have. That is real. But so is this. And so ever since he got home from the Netherlands, when he calls her, she tells him about the gratitudes, what's happening that's good. So all this to say that there's always something positive we can look to. So the power of perspective is really important, and it's an important tool for us. Gratitude is important. A gratitude list can help us see what's good in our lives instead of focusing on the bad. What we focus on grows. So are you focusing on the scary things that are happening or decisions the government is making or what's happening to your finances? Are you focusing on that or are you focusing on the good things? I made a healthy meal for myself today, or I have family who loves me, or I have a job, right? Focus on the positive. That's so important. Now, another thing to consider is how you're looking at the situation in your life that's causing you the most stress. Are you thinking all the positive tools I learn don't apply here? That this situation is bigger, it's different, it's not going to be affected by positive thinking. Okay, but the truth is, anything that we go through in life will be impacted by our perspective, by our attitude of gratitude. So watch out for your thinking, oh, my case is different, or this case won't be improved no matter what I think, no matter what my mindset is. It's not true. And the fact is, any situation that we go through that's stressful, when you boil it down, we're talking about uncomfortable feelings. Whatever you're going through, you can get through it because whatever the situation, when we feel, deal, and heal, we can get through it. I teach my clients a whole system of actions they can take around self-care, which can help them reduce stress, which can help them reduce cravings, which can change their perspective and help them be more emotionally balanced no matter what. So when you think that something is too big and too bad for the impact of positive self-care tools, it's just not true, okay? That's your mind is feeding you a bunch of BS. So even in loss, know that no matter what you're going through, when you boil it down, we're talking about uncomfortable feelings that you can write about, you can talk about, you can pray about, you can reach out to friends for support. Don't overlook the actions you can take, which will make a difference. And what's really important is that we stay grounded with these tools. Self-care is non-negotiable no matter what's going on. When people experienced the pandemic, they started eating a lot. Okay. I even did a campaign called Don't Eat the House, because even my friends who didn't relate to emotional eating, they were emotionally eating. Being stressed out and worrying won't fix things. So your actions, meaning your self-care habits, will determine how you handle what's happening. We can't change life events. We can change how we respond to them, and our response is directly proportional to our level of self-care, honestly. So I'm going to emphasize the importance of meditation, prayer, community. I call them the 6 self-care success habits or secrets: walking, talking, writing. Writing is so important. Another thing I'm going to give you is the hula hoop mindset. This is something that's really helping me, especially right now when I am feeling a little battered by the news, which I don't spend a lot of time watching the news because of it. It doesn't take too many headlines to start feeling beat up by what's happening, scared, rattled. So I don't look at much news. I know things that are happening. It does upset me. So what I do is I climb back into my hula hoop. The hula hoop mindset is just focusing on what's in your hula hoop. Imagine you have a hula hoop around your waist. Everything within that hula hoop is what you can control. Everything outside of the hula hoop is what you cannot control. So my thoughts, my actions, my self-care, my decisions around getting the right foods for my refrigerator, these are things I can do something about. And everything outside my hula hoop, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to give it to God is what I'm going to do. Speaking of which, one of my best tools is the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. God, help me accept what I can't change, because trying to change something I can't change is a prescription for misery and frustration. God, help me take action on things that I do have a say in. Help me be proactive. I don't want to sit around feeling like a victim, waiting for my turn to be victimized. Take action where you do have power. And the third, lean into the wisdom to know the difference, right? To know what's mine to work on and what's beyond my control so that I'm not barking up the wrong tree. But also the wisdom to be able to trust that it's in divine order. It's going to work out. I will do my part. I will speak my truth, but I won't let it bury me. Okay, I won't let the stress of what's happening around me force me to eat, right? Cause me to eat. I won't let the stress of everything around me drive me to eat. So here's the deal. We have to process our emotions. When we're sad, angry, scared, it's okay to have those feelings. It's understandable to have these feelings. These are normal responses to uncertainty. So don't invalidate it, but deal with it, okay? Write it out. Take out a journal and write down every fear that you have. Dump it onto paper so it's not ruling your thoughts. Reach out for support. Grab a girlfriend, make a phone call, go for a walk, talk it out. Talk to somebody, process it in a healthy way instead of numbing out with food or social media or other distractions. And what's also paramount for me, for emotional stability, is to trust that God's in charge. God's in charge, no matter how it seems. It may seem like other people have taken charge. God ultimately is in charge. There is a divine order to all the seeming chaos in our lives. And when I hold on to that, it calms me down. It helps me know this is going to work out. There have been many upheavals throughout the world. And I'm going to trust that there is an order, even if I can't see it. To recap, uncertainty is part of life. The way to navigate it is through having a way to change your mind, right? Change your perspective through a gratitude list and through realizing that there's no situation that's outside the scope of treating it with a change in perspective, right? There's nothing so bad that gratitude won't improve it. Also self-care and leaning into what we can control through the hula hoop mindset. Take action where you can, let go where you can't. And just know there's always a silver lining. Even in the hardest of times, trust that you're exactly where you need to be right now. Bring in your higher power for support. Bring in friends for support. Reach out for help with your overeating, with emotional eating, so you're not doing it alone. And take a nice deep breath whenever you remember to. I hope that helps. I love you so much. We'll get through this. We'll get through this, and we'll get through it and become stronger when we don't turn to food, but we turn to positive self-care. I love you so much. I'll see you on the next show. If you're ready to get off the dieting roller coaster ride and finally make peace with food and with your body, talk to a Heal Your Hunger mentor about what steps you need to take based on your own history with food and weight. Go to healyourhunger.com and register for an emotional eating breakthrough session and see how fast you can experience real change. It's a complimentary evaluation, but there are limited spots available. So go to healyourhunger.com and register to speak with a mentor today.